Hello people, as you can see I'm in my dressing gown, just got out of bed. It's a bit early and I've posted on Facebook that I'm really sorry that lesson 2 hasn't come through yet, but it's taken ages to upload. I've decided to try and post lesson 3 as well, so you might get it before lesson 2. And what we're going to do is start more or less every day with an update on the sourdough starter, because that takes 7 days, and but we are spoiling you with a cake recipe as well. So good luck with this recipe. Any help you need, of course, just personal message me. Please like it on Facebook, like it on YouTube, and thanks a lot for your support, and hope you're enjoying them. Hello, more of the sourdough starter today. Things have changed since yesterday, so I'm just going to show you that now. If I can work out how to turn it round. No, I can't. Okay, I'll turn it round and then I come back. Alright, so I've taken half off and I've separated it. I've done 2 lots because I'm just interested to see what happens with it. So I've added 100 millilitres of water and 100 milligrams of flour. It's lukewarm water, okay, so more later. Here we go then with the ingredients. Today's recipe is honey soy glazed salmon. The recipe is for 2 servings. So we start with 12 ounces or 340 grams of skinless salmon, a tablespoon of olive oil, a clove of garlic, minced, but it's optional. If you don't like garlic, don't put it in. 2 teaspoons of ginger. It can either be fresh or dried. If it's dried though, it's 1/4 teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1 tablespoon of olive oil for the marinade, 1/3 cup of low sodium soy sauce, which is 80 millilitres, and 1/3 cup of honey, which is 115 grams. So this is what they all look like. So you've got the soy sauce, honey, olive oil, the ginger. So you've got the dried ginger, which is gingembre here, and the whole ginger. It looks a bit scary, and I'll show you how to peel that in a minute. You've got the garlic, the pepper, and the salmon. I've got 2 pieces of salmon. If you're buying it in a supermarket, ask them to skin it for you, but I'll show you how to skin it when I come to that in a little while, okay? Some people like the skin. I hate it, so that'll be coming off. Okay, today I've enlisted the help of Mark, alias Johnny Craddock. You need to look up Johnny and Fanny Craddock. They were a couple who were cooks in the 60s. Don't look at me, look at my things. And stop that, Johnny. And they were really, she was horrible to him, just like I am to Mark. So the children think it's a good idea that we are these are our alter egos. So here's the bit of ginger that was, fresh ginger, and I've just pulled that little bit off. To peel it, you just drag your knife on it. So it peels quite easily. Zoom in, Johnny, darling, zoom in. So you can just see all the peels coming off there. So you're not wasting any of it. It's all going in. I've got my little miracle machine because I'm going to chop it in that. Or you can use the grater. So here it is, all peeled, all nice, so no waste. And yes, the skin will be going into your fridge, or sorry, in your freezer, in your veggie bag for a soup. So to make stock later in the week. So all goes into the same bag. Oops. So into my little...
Oh, Fanny.
Oh, Johnny. So it goes into my little miracle machine by that well-known American party plant seller.
That'd be Tupperware.
You mustn't say that in case it's copyright, Johnny. Oh dear, now he's let the cat out of the bag, hasn't he? Okay, back to the garlic, Johnny dear. Okay, I've cut the garlic in half. I've pulled out that little germ thing or the seed from yesterday so that you don't get indigestion. And that's going to go in my little miracle Tupperware. Oops, I mean thing. My little thing. So put that in there. I wish you could all have one of these. So that rubbish can go out of the way now, over there. So then I put my little lid on of my thing. Over here now, Johnny. And this is how I chop. very good exercise, but only on your right hand, because I'm right-handed, very right-handed. So let's have a look at that now. See, that's all in bits and pieces, teeny weeny bits in there. So that's the garlic and the ginger all chopped up. I think I'm going to give it another little whiz. Right, so shake it on. So then it'll be all nice and small, like it is. So that's going to go into this bowl with a quarter of a teaspoon of pepper. This is my little bit of pepper. So it's about a quarter of a teaspoon. That goes in there. I've got a third of a cup of honey. Don't buy these honeys with the squidgy bottles. They're absolutely useless. You can actually keep it in your cupboard. It doesn't have to be in the fridge. And you get a jar. It's just a nightmare to squidge it out. I've had to take the lid off this one. That goes in there as well. Hands are washed, so that can go in there. Then soy sauce. It asks for low sodium or low salt. Sodium is salt, so low salt. And you want a third of a cup of that. Mine isn't low sodium or low salt because it's what's in the cupboard at the end of the day. So that's going to go in there. It's a third of a cup of that, so the same as the honey. There you go, third of a cup of that. That's going to go in there as well. It's much easier having Johnny film, and I think it's going to be much quicker. So.
But the thing is, with Johnny and Fanny Craddock, Johnny used to drink a lot. But at the end of the 14 days cooking, I think Marky will be drinking a lot.
Oh, no, don't be like that, Johnny. Oh, sorry, Marky. Marky does like a drop of red, by the way. Again.
Only on special occasions.
Or the weekend.
If there's a Y in the day, it's a good day.
Yeah, he likes a bit of red then. So this little sharp thing, be careful with that one. You don't have that, so it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to scrape all of the ginger and garlic into this mixture. It also needs some olive oil in there for the marinade. All in there. Then I'm going to just get a tablespoon actually. You can, yes, keep it on and just look at that, people. I'm going to get a spoon. Yes, Johnny, so what do you think of this, Johnny? Johnny's very disappointed in today's recipe because he wanted fish, so I got salmon out, but he was thinking we were having fish and chips, but we're not. It's 1 tablespoon of olive oil. There you go. Doesn't matter if it goes over, it's not bad. And we've got the ginger, we've got everything in there. Okay, turn this off now, Johnny, please. Okay, right, so we've got all of the marinade ingredients in this bowl. So I'm just going to mix them round a bit, yeah? Because you're going to marinate your salmon fillets or pieces of salmon in that for about an hour before you cook it. So just do a good old mix there. It smells really nice, actually. In spite of it not being fish and chips, Johnny does love this, don't you, darling?
No comment at the moment.
Okay, so that's all mixed up. And yesterday, it dawned on me that I didn't actually tell you what I was serving with it until the very end. So today, for your information, we're going to have broccoli with it. Show that. You've got a nice little bunch of broccoli. And pasta. So we'll come to those later. Right, the salmon. These are our 2 pieces of salmon. As you can see, we've got skin on. Because I stupidly didn't ask the fishmonger to take the skin off. But I'm going to show you how to take the skin off. But if you can, just ask your fishmonger or the fish counter to take the skin off for you. So I've got a chopping board here, which has been suitably sterilised. And I've got a very, very sharp knife. Yes, my trusty knife. I do everything with this knife. I am quite a creature of habit, but my family makes fun of me for that. And what I need is just a teaspoonful of salt. As I said yesterday, you can use rock salt, which is what I use, or powdered salt. And I need that to get a grip on the skin. So I'm going to dip the skin in it. There, so that will actually give my fingers a grip. And now I'm going to hold it because the salt will give me a bit of a grip there. And then I just run my knife along the skin. There you go. And it should come off the skin. There it is. God, sometimes I even surprise myself. Do you know that? So there's the skin off it. Now, some people like the skin. Personally, I hate it. That's just a bit of yuck off the edge. This again could go in for a fish stock if you wanted. Keep it, do what you like. Cook it for your dogs. Dogs love it. We don't give it to ours though because she's a bit of a fun eater. So the skin is now going to be put to one side because it's going to go in the bin. And what I'm going to do as well is pick the bones out. But again, you ask your fishmonger to do that. Turn off now, darling, because I'm just going to get his tweezer. Okay. If you rub your finger, you can actually see the bones come up there. I don't know if you can see them, can you? And this was actually an eyebrow tweezer that wasn't very good, so I now use it for the bones. So you just pull them out. There you go. Sorry, there you go. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just put them on the serviette. Again, you could ask your fish counter, fishmonger to take them out for you. It's quite simple. Just don't be afraid of it is the secret. Just
it's called pin boning.
Oh, thank you, darling, Johnny. I didn't know. Johnny can't cook, won't cook, but he knows all of these different terms because we come from a family of eaters and feeders. So we either are feeding people or eating all together. We'd have a good meal, all of us. So there you go. Right, just run your finger both ways. No, that's all fine. So that's the first one done. I'll just get on with the second one. I'm just going to pop this one into marinade. So it's all done. All nice and boned. No doubt Johnny will find a bone. Oh, there's another one there, I think. No, that's fine. This is salt. Okay, popping that in now. Covering it with the marinade. And it'll be in there for about half an hour. I like to leave them always about an hour because then they've got a good old coating, good old marinade on. So that's going to go in the fridge once I pop the other one in there for about an hour and then we'll fry it. Okay, darling, thank you. Turn it off now. So,
and here's baby, the sous chef, waiting for something to eat, I think.
Waiting for them to drop
but
on the floor.
She'll have to wait.
Finished?
Do you want to turn it off?
You can't turn it off now, please. No, that's off. No, that's on. The other one's off. Okay, I'm going to show you what to do with the broccoli. Because of the current crisis, when you get home, just rinse it off under a cold tap. But before you eat it, I would cut it off quite long, so you've got quite a bit of the little stalk on. That's really good. And I put it into a bowl of salted water. So this broccoli will actually see us for 2 meals. So there's the bits I've cut off. So that's enough for us. Just pop it into the salted water until you're ready to cook it later. The big stalk, what I'm going to do with that, I'm cutting it off there. That'll go into the fridge, at the bottom of the fridge in the salad drawer. And I'm going to cut this in half. And in half again, because that's going to go into the veggies in the freezer for the stock. Okay, turn it off now please, Johnny. As a rule, green vegetables go into boiling water. So there's the boiling water on now for the broccoli. And there's the broccoli just going in. I've got the pasta cooking over there. That'll take 12 minutes. And I'm just about to start the salmon. Johnny's on his way back in now from having a cigarette, unfortunately. Very bad habit he's got, but it is his only vice. So here you go, Johnny, now ready for filming the old salmon. Thank you. So there's a tablespoon of olive oil in there, just heated up. It's on a generally smaller ring, so it's not an absolutely fast heat, but it's fast enough. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour a spoonful of the marinade over the salmon, and we're going to pop the salmon in. We're going to cook it for 3 minutes on one side, then we're going to flip it over and cook it for 2 minutes on the other, so 5 minutes is in total. And I think for the little ones, one of these little fillets between two children is fine, because there's, you know, quite a big lump really. So there it is on there, and I'm going to give it a little bit of spoonful over the top of both of them. So it's going to be about 3 minutes now, that one. So I've got everything on the go at once, because it's all going to be ready about the same time, because the pasta is going to be ready by the time the salmon's ready, and then the broccoli. I broil the broccoli really fast, because the quicker it cooks the better, but don't have it all soggy and flaccid. It needs to have a bit of bite to it. So it's not going to be in there long, so that's going to be in there as long as the salmon, so 5 minutes is plenty. You don't need to boil vegetables for 20 minutes, half an hour, as you'll discover when we come to carrots, etc. So that's looking all lovely. Look at that bubbling away there. Now that's going to be caramelising because of the honey, obviously, and the sugars in there. So it smells absolutely divine. And just give it a little bit of a baste to pour it over there. My chefy grandson would be so proud of me saying baste rather than just cover it over. Yeah, we've got one chef in the family and one bit of an all-rounder, but chef, etc. So he's more Asian cookery, so we can come to him when we need ramen and stuff. And we did actually make ramen noodles together a few weeks ago. But basically, once we've got these 14 days out of the way, any special requests, just let me know and I'll try and cook it for you. So Indian's quite good, vegan, everything else. That's coming along lovely. It's, if you notice, you can see at the side of the fish, it's changed colour from this pink to a lighter pink. That's virtually cooked. You don't need to overcook fish at all. It doesn't take long to cook it, and it's much nicer when it's just done properly. So I think that's probably been about 3 minutes, but I'm going to give it just a little minute longer, because you can see it's not quite all the way up yet. It will be soon. Have a look at that one. Yeah, see, that's good as well. Now I'm going to flip it over using the 2 spoons, but you can use a fish slice or use whatever you're comfortable with. There you go. So that's going to go over to that side. Oops, daisy. It will go over. There you go. We'll have another couple of minutes on there. And again. And if you're wondering what we're going to do with all of the marinade that's left, which is this lot here, we're actually going to put that into the frying pan once I've taken the fish out. I'm going to put about half a cup of water with it, and I'm just going to reduce it down, because that's going to be the sauce that's going to go on the pasta. So I wish you could smell it. It's really good. Thank you, Johnny. Danny, you can put it on.
You turned it on again, though.
Right. Salmon's all cooked, so I'm putting the rest of the marinade into the frying pan. And what's going to happen with that is going to bubble and boil away until it reduces. It's going to be very sticky. So you don't leave it, just keep that, stay there. If you've got a non-stick pan, use a wooden spoon, or a plastic one, but if it's an ordinary pan, you can use an ordinary spoon. Okay, thank you. Okay, there's the marinade bubbling now to reduce. I'll take it off the heat for you to see what it looks like when it's all calmed down a bit. Stir it. Just stir it and help cool it. There you can see that looks really lovely. It's a bit thicker because it's reduced. And you can see the bits of ginger and garlic in there. So that's going to be used as the sauce for the salmon and for the pasta. We're nearly ready now to eat as Mark is very hungry. So there it is, honey soy glazed salmon with broccoli and pasta with the marinade on that. Looks yummy. What do you think of that, Johnny, darling?
It's alright.
What do you mean it's alright? Everything's always alright for Johnny, but he never leaves anything on his plate. So bon appetit and enjoy. As a special treat today, I'm going to be uploading a cake for you to make as well. More of that in a little while. No, that's off. No, that's on. The other one's
That's
off.
off.